So now what we're gonna do is talk about assisted living. And I know that a lot of you probably know, I know what independent living is, I know what assisted living is. So I think, let me just touch, before I jump into assisted, independent living is gonna give you notice at a certain point in your life, potentially. And generally, when somebody gets an eviction notice from an independent living, it a lot of times is related to memory care, I would say, because you do need to navigate large hallways. There's no real super small independent livings, they tend to be large. You're independent, so you need to remember to come down to meals on time. You need to remember to get onto that bus to go to your doctor appointment. You need to remember how to do medications. You also, I had a funny, it's not really funny, but I had a story where a daughter said, well, they really gave a notice because mom was walking out in the hallway with her underwear, carrying her pots and pans, right? She got pretty confused, and so she was behaviorally inappropriate for an independent living. Perfectly appropriate for memory care because they know how to redirect and help and all of that. Okay, so assisted living is now really the meat of care, right? Assisted and memory care are the meat of the places that we will likely move ourselves or our loved ones into at a certain point. So it is going back to that boat analogy, the cruise ship that's docked. It's just that instead of all the fun love boat stuff you got going on, you also got caregivers. You've got medication aides. You've got nurses. You've got much more staff that wrap around you. Now, the odd thing about this is that in independent living, you're paying for, say, a 600 or 700 square foot apartment for, let's say $3,500. Well, this is the opposite of normal real estate. So in assisted living, that goes down, the size goes down. Maybe you're getting 550 square feet for a one bedroom, and your price jacks way up. So it doesn't, but what you're paying for isn't the real estate. You're paying for what wraps around you. So you are gonna have caregivers there 24/7. They're gonna wrap around at nighttime, right? So maybe you don't need any assistance during the day, but when you get a little confused when you're getting up at night, you keep having falls when you go home, right? Or when you're at home. So you need to be able to press a button, which you can again have around your wrist or here, but it's not just for emergencies, it's for assistance. It's for, I need to help getting to the bathroom. Or it's for, I can't reach the book up there, can you come help me get it? It's not just for care, it's for, I'm confused because I have a little memory loss, I can't figure out my remote, or just I can't figure out my remote because it's confusing, right? So can you come help me? And the 18-year-old's gonna do it much better than we will. So this is where you're gonna have a studio option, you're gonna have a one bedroom option, you're gonna have a two bedroom option. And assisted living is again in apartments. And oftentimes it's gonna be a little, not quite as big of a building as well as apartment size than independent living. So we're kind of going down again a little bit. So an average care staff ratio is 1 to 17-ish. My happy place when I'm talking to clients is 1 to 15-ish, and it give or take a little there. So when you're thinking about assisted living, the people that when you press that button, it's the caregiver that comes to you. When you press that button, it isn't the nurse that comes to you. There's gonna be a nurse there 5 days a week, not 24/7. That's really expensive. That's a long-term nursing home. But they're gonna be on call. If you fall and hit your head and the med tech doesn't know what to do, he can call her or him and get some advice.